13 years ago when I was on Shluchus in Kentucky, I remember that was the first time that I started selling things on eBay. After I finished teaching the class there that I was teaching, I would go back on the computer and I would put up some interesting things that I would find. I would put up earmuffs and all types of random things like tea kettles online, and I would put them up for a penny just to see what happened. That's when eBay was very, very popular. Now it's obviously still very popular. Amazon is even more popular these days. But I remember my first experience just putting stuff up online. And I didn't really understand at that point what it meant to have a website, what it meant to have a business. I was just kind of messing around. I made some money, nothing major, but I was messing around just to learn all about the internet. And as time evolved over the past 13 years, I found some very, very interesting things. And I've learned the difference between selling stuff on eBay, having a website, and all different types of marketing strategies. So today I'm hopefully going to educate some of you to learn about these strategies that I learned and that I've done for many, many customers. So the first thing I want to explain is that the internet is a very diverse place. The internet is a place where you can find everything. And I don't know in this community how many people actually use the internet. I'm sure many of you do. Does anybody here sell things online? We have one person over there, a couple of people. So about half of you sell things online. Does anybody here not sell things online but wants to potentially sell something online? Okay, the same people raise their hands. Interesting. I'm kidding. Very nice. Okay, so if you're selling things online, or if you're not selling things online, regardless, when somebody wants to find information these days, what they do is they go on the internet. And they say that 97%, right? 97% of people are going online to find what they're looking for, to find products and services. So when somebody has an itch they want to scratch, what do? The first thing they do is they Google it. Whether it's their kid vomiting, whether it's what type of projector they should buy, or whether if they're doing a shidduch, research on a shidduch, right? They're going online and they're searching for things. So you want to make sure that you're able to be found online. And today we're going to talk about all different types of strategies. I'm going to skip forward a little bit to the juicy part. This is statistics that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to skip over because we're limited on time, and I really want to focus on what's important, what's really going to help you succeed. So there's a lot of statistics, and you could download this slide and look at all the statistics on the internet. It's slideshare.net/Joe Apfelbaum. And if you want to find out, you could always email me, or you could find me online. You could just Google me and you'll find me easily. But what I want to talk about is a few things. The first thing I want to talk about, I'm sorry? Slideshare.net/Joe Apfelbaum. And you can Google the CHYE eCommerce thing. You'll probably find it there. And what I want to talk about is a couple things. The first thing I want to talk about is the difference between eBay and Amazon. Then I want to talk about the difference between marketplaces. eBay and Amazon are marketplaces. Between marketplaces and having your own website. And then I want to talk about how to promote your own website online. Okay? So that's kind of going to be the agenda tonight. That's what we're going to go through. So the first thing we're going to talk about the difference between eBay and Amazon. So as you know, some of you anybody here sell things on eBay? A couple of people sell things on eBay. Probably the rest of you sell things on Amazon, right? You sell things on Amazon. So if you sell things on Amazon, you sell things on eBay, it's a little bit different. eBay works like a bidding system, and they're always competing with each other. So Amazon added some features that you can make offers, and eBay a while ago added buy it now stuff. So they're really competing with each other. But as you can see from the chart that I created, they're really, really head to head. But Amazon's a much bigger company, as you can tell by the market cap. Amazon has 105 billion and eBay has 60 billion. So Amazon's really, really taking off a lot more. You know, it used to be that Amazon wasn't as big as eBay, and then it just kind of took off. So different styles of working. One of them, with eBay, you buy the product and the person ships it to you. With Amazon, most of the time, or many times I should say, you're getting it fulfilled by Amazon. Okay? So there's a big difference there between how people trust the system in general. Now, let's talk about the difference between a marketplace and having your own website. Does anybody here have their own website where they sell products? You have your own website? A couple of you have your own website. Do you also sell on Amazon? Yeah, you also sell on Amazon besides your own website? So you sell on Amazon, you have your own website, that's great. Now, the difference you have to understand between selling on Amazon and having your own website or selling on the marketplaces is that on your own website, you technically have to do all the marketing. And on Amazon, Amazon's doing the marketing. So what ends up happening is that you don't have to spend any money necessarily, any big money, until you actually sell the product. It's still costing you marketing dollars when you're selling the product with Amazon. A lot of people think, well, it's free to sell on Amazon. I'll just sell it and then pay them after I sell the product. But what some people don't realize is that they're missing out on two major things. Number one is that they're paying out 15% or whatever the percentage is to Amazon, and that's a huge marketing spend in many cases. Sometimes it really eats into your profit margin. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize is that who owns the customer when you're selling on Amazon? Think about it. The next time that person wants to buy, is he buying from you or is he buying from Amazon or from eBay? The next time they're coming, they're going to eBay or Amazon, and whoever has the lowest price or whoever has it in stock, that's the person they're going to buy from. They're not going to call you the second time around. So some of the differences between having a website is with a website you have to actually shell out the money before you sell the product. But the beauty is that you're able to save money eventually, and you're able to grow a real business that you're not going to be at the whim of Amazon. If Amazon decides to knock you off, or if you want to sell something else in a different category, with Amazon, you need to be approved. It's really hard to get into certain categories in Amazon. I'm sure many of you know that you have to get approved for the major categories. You can't just sell watches on Amazon. It's hard to get approved for that category. And it's getting a little bit easier in certain industries, but because Amazon wants to have a lot of credibility, wants to make sure that people aren't just going to go up and sell things. It's feedback-based, but it's not completely feedback-based. They also have other things that they want to make sure that you're able to fulfill and you're able to give them the reputation that they have. And that's why Amazon was able to grow. And all the strategies that Amazon does for themselves, like search engine optimization, like Google AdWords, pay-per-click, email marketing, affiliate marketing is one of their biggest sources of traffic to Amazon. They have a huge affiliate network. And I'm actually an affiliate of Amazon as well, which means that I can send traffic to Amazon, and if somebody buys as a result of that traffic, I get a commission on that. And that's why Amazon charges a high commission. The way they charge is because a lot of their marketing is paying other people that are promoting their website as well. So you're not only paying Amazon, but you're also paying the people that are promoting Amazon. So at the end of the day, Amazon has all these customers, and they're a $100 billion company for this reason. Very powerful, and something really to think about. Having a website is not always the answer, and having Amazon is not always the answer. You have to really take a look at what you want to accomplish, how much you want to invest. Do you really want to do this? When somebody's starting out just initially, I always tell them, first test it out on Amazon and eBay. See if people will even buy your product without risking a lot of investment, because that's where you can tell. You can test it out there to see if it's going to work. For example, if you're selling iPhone cases, the latest iPhone 5 cases, and they say that all the iPhone 5 products are going really quickly because Apple sold over 5 million iPhone 5s in the first weekend. So you could imagine the demand for cases and accessories, and they changed the little thingy that you put into it, the little charger thingy. So now people want to buy all types of accessories for their house, and they go to Amazon many times to find these things because they're comfortable with Amazon. So you want to make sure that you test out your product on Amazon. But after you have an established product, an established brand, or you're selling a commodity, you're selling something that you could just sell it by brand. People come over to me all the time and they want to sell jewelry. And they build themselves a beautiful website and they want to promote it without, with the search engines, with SEO, and they really want to get it out there, but they don't want to make a big investment in building their brand. They just want to be able to sell. If you don't have a brand, if you're not Sony, if you're not selling something that's Sony or Movado or a specific brand, it's going to be very hard for you to get traffic to your website for people to buy. But on Amazon and eBay, you can actually do that. And there are many other websites that you can do that. So there's the pros and there's the cons to both strategies. Now, having a website does have a lot of benefits, because if you do plan on building a business, you are planning on becoming successful online and really taking off, it's going to be hard to do that on Amazon. I know some people that have multi-million-dollar businesses off Amazon, but if you're relying on Amazon, that means you have to process everything through Amazon, and if Amazon decides to change their terms and conditions based on whatever they want to decide, they come up with some idea that you can't sell this anymore on their site, or you can't do it this way, or they give somebody else a preference, they can put you out of business tomorrow. With your website, you have your customers. There's a tremendous value of having your own subscribers. You have their email addresses. They're part of your social media. If you have an Amazon business and you want to sell it, it's going to be very, very hard to sell that business. But if you have a website and you build it up and you have a lot of subscribers and you have great SEO and you have great social media, if you want to sell that business after, you're going to be able to sell it for a lot of money. And essentially, any business that you have, you want to think about what the value of your business is. You're working really hard. You're not just working to make a living, but you're working to build an asset that hopefully you'll be able to live off for a long time to come. And that's really how you need to be thinking. When I started doing this, I wasn't thinking like that. I call it thinking from a business perspective. Think about it like a business. Don't just try to make a living. It's good to make a living, but if you want to just make a living, then you can get a job somewhere and you can make a living. But if you're running your own business, if you're selling things online, you really want to start thinking long term. You want to do what you need to do today for the next 90 days to make it, but think about, where do you want to be in a few years from now? Where do you want to be? Do you eventually want to sell your company? How much do you want to sell per month? How many products do you want to move per month? And how much revenue are you going to make? And how much profit are you going to make? I ask that to people all the time when they come over to me. I have a business idea. I want to do X, Y, and Z. So I said, so how much revenue do you want to make, in your first year? And they're like, what's the difference? I just want to sell as much as I can. I said, how much do you want to sell? How much revenue? He's like, as much as I can. As much as I can is not a definitive amount. It's not an amount that you could quantify. It's like unlimited. In this world, we're in a limited world. As Chabadniks, we all know that we're in a limited world. Because we're in a limited world, we need to put limits on everything that we do. We need to set very, very specific goals with specific timelines. And then we need to see how are we going to accomplish those goals. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about the difference between Amazon and a website or anything like that? Go ahead.
I have a different question.
Sure.
How do you set a goal? How do you know? It's like, I went to a business advisor. He's like, how much money do you want to make? $70 million. It's like,
right. Excellent question. So how do you set a goal for yourself from a business perspective? How do you know how much you want to make? So a lot of times what I tell people is look at what you made last year. Take a look at what you've made in the past.
But I'm brand new, so that doesn't help me.
Okay. So identify, depending on your business, it could be different. But identify what your potential is. Not every business, like a hot dog stand, can't be $70 million business. Unless you make it into a franchise, and I can go on and how to potentially make it into a $70 million business. But if you, let's say, for example, have a business that sells office chairs, and your average office chair is $100, right? And your profit margin is, let's say, 40%. So that means for every $100, for some of you, I'm losing you here because I'm doing math, but for every $100, you're making $40 profit, right? But out of that $40 profit, right, for every $100, you're making $40 profit. You have expenses on the $40, right? You have your overhead. You have your credit card processing fees. You have your insurance. You have all different types of expenses which you have to minus off. And before you know it, you minus off everything, and then you have a little sliver left. You have maybe 10% left if you're lucky. And what you want to do is you want to identify how much you're able to invest in order for you to get there. And that's how you build your goal. So for example, if you say, I'm willing to spend $1,000 a month in advertising in order for me to get there, right? So that means you're willing to spend $12,000 a year. Well, if you're spending $1,000 a month in advertising, how much product can you sell with that, right? So you want to think about how much product can you sell, depending on what your margin is, depending on what percentage you're spending on marketing. So if your average order is $100, and you're spending, your percentage is 25% that you're spending on marketing, or on Amazon you're spending 15% depending on what your strategy is, right? So you're spending $15 for every $100. That means that you need to spend, depending on how many chairs you want to sell, that's how many $15 amounts you're going to be spending. So if you want to sell 100 chairs, $1,500. You want to sell 1,000 chairs, $15,000. You want a million shares, and so on and so on. And that's how you know what your goals are, based on what you're able to invest. You can't just build a multi-million-dollar company just off the fly without having any advertising, without having any investment. It's either time or money. It could either take you 50 years, companies that are around for 100, 200 years, and they grew really, really slowly by 1%, by 2%, by 3%. And then you have companies that have been around for 3 years, and they grew by several thousand%. Many of them get investment. That's how they do it. Or they borrow money, or they take certain risks, or they're positioned in a certain area. So what you want to do is you want to think of, when you're making your goals, you want to think about, what can I invest in this business? What's realistic for me to do? And then you test. Marketing is about testing. You test it out. You try to sell 10. Can you sell 10? How much should it cost me to sell 10? Try to sell 20. Try to sell 50. Try to sell 100. And then based on that, you make a 90-day goal, a half-a-year goal, a 1-year goal, a 2 or 3-year goal based on that. You get what I'm saying? Okay, question?
You touched upon the subject of emerging brands. Basically, you have an unbranded product. And do you recommend going with your own website or more like established websites such as Amazon or eBay? Remember, this is an unbranded item, so someone going on Amazon, even though they
don't know what to look for.
Yeah.
So it depends on what the product is. So if you're competing with brands, it's going to be very, very hard. Like, for example, if you're trying to sell a phone, okay? I'm going to use this as an example because it's in front of me. You want to sell this phone on Amazon. And this, let's say, is a GSM phone, and it's your own brand. It's Moshe's phone, okay? You call it Moshe's phone. And you want to sell it for $100. And it has all the features that the iPhone has. You're not going to be very successful because no one's searching for Moshe's phone on eBay. But if you're, or on Amazon, but if you're selling an acrylic 8.5 by 11 stand, right? And you made them in China, and you can sell them for $2 each, right? And they're completely no brand. You'll do really, really well because acrylic 8.5 by 11 stands cost $6 or $7 each. So you can do really, really well in a non-branded product depending on the industry. So if you want to sell costume jewelry, if you're selling it on Etsy and you're using Pinterest, and there are certain ways that you can do it, but on Amazon it's going to be hard to do. Maybe freshwater pearls you can do. It really depends on what the product is, what the industry is. What I always say is test it out. Put it up on eBay for a penny. Lose money on it. See if anybody even wants it. There were things that I would put up on eBay for a penny and I wouldn't sell. Who wouldn't want to buy my thing for a penny with $40 shipping? Just kidding, So I tried it out. Free shipping a penny. See what happens. And you know what? The little colorful tea kettles that I took from Yishai Grossman that he gave me for free because his mother was telling him to empty his house out, I was able to sell that for like $8.99 each. This is many, many years ago. Question, go.
You spoke about the differences of Amazon and your own website. But what if you want to use Amazon to drive customers to your own website?
That's an excellent, excellent question. Thank you. So what if you want to take Amazon and drive traffic from Amazon to your website? You're able to do that. It's completely against Amazon's terms and conditions because Amazon's goal is for them to grow more, not to grow your business. But a great branding strategy is if you sell Sony camcorders, is to have an Amazon store as well. And in the customer service section and the Amazon name, you should brand yourself. And you should have an eBay store. One of our clients, thewatchery.com, he had 100% positive feedback on eBay. And he would lose money on every single product that he would sell on eBay for the most part, just to get positive feedback. And when people called him and said, "Are your watches real?" Well, he would say, "Of course my watches are real. Go look at our feedback on eBay." And he had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of positive feedback on eBay. So you can use that as a tool. It's not necessarily going to drive traffic to your website because you can't link to it. You might be able to link in the About Us. You might be able to put stuff when you ship it, put coupons and so on. that's against their terms and conditions. Sometimes if you become big enough, they test it out, they buy a product from you, and if they find out that you're doing that to the masses, guess what? They'll cancel your account, and all your efforts will be wasted. So you want to make sure that you're doing things within the terms and conditions. We call it legal, or white hat, or legitimate. And there are ways to mess with the system, but as you grow, and as you become bigger, and your business becomes more successful, it's riskier and riskier to mess around with everything. If you're doing it on a small level, it doesn't really matter if you're doing it or not, because you're shipping one product out. What does it matter? 100 products, what does it matter? But when you're shipping 50,000 products a day out, or whatever the amount is, you can better believe that they're going to make sure that you're not taking away their customers. And that's part of the terms and conditions. But excellent question. It's a great branding strategy. I recommend that all businesses should have a presence on eBay and Amazon. Go ahead.
Amazon, when they see a successful company with successful products, will emulate these products and will put this company out of business on occasion. If it's very successful, I have an associate of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right.
Because
Amazon does it. Amazon does it. Walmart does it. A lot of the big companies, when they realize that somebody else has a product that's doing really, really well, they just build that product themselves and do it themselves. So you always run the risk of doing that. That's why it's so important for you to have your own business, for you to have your own website, and try, if you really want to build a successful business, you don't just want to make a living, you should build your own website, and it's really not that expensive to do. There are ways to do it that are very, very affordable, and start marketing it yourself. So I'm going to show you some strategies to market your website. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some strategies to market your website, but not with the slideshow thing, because the slideshow just had an attack. Okay, so no, it's fine. I could do it with that. So I'm going to talk about a few strategies. The first thing I'm going to talk about is search engine optimization. So the way search engine optimization works is that Google goes around and it tries to find websites to be able to show people when people make a search on Google. So if you're looking for something on Google, for example, you're looking for a CHYE yarmulke, right? Just kidding. You're looking for sunglasses, a certain type of sunglasses, right? What type of sunglasses do you like to wear? Ray-Bans, okay? So you're going on Google, you're looking for Ray-Bans. So Google wants to show you an answer to your problem. Essentially, when you're going to Google to search something, Google's giving you an answer to the question that you're asking it. And the answer could be your store, it could be your store, it could be your store. It could be Walmart, Amazon. It could be a bunch of ads. It could be some latest articles about Ray-Bans. Or it could be some tweets or some articles or some videos about Ray-Ban. So Google wants to show people all different types of things online, blog posts, and any type of media, any type of information. Google's goal is to give people information that they want when they want that information. Very specific information, okay? So it's all about information. It's not just about websites. So when you're thinking about SEO, search engine optimization, it's not just about optimizing your website, but it's about creating a presence for yourself online. It's about having a website, having the right content, the right keywords on your website, making sure that you actually write it in text, but also creating a bubble around you with blogs, with articles, with press releases, with videos, with social media, with all types of really, really exciting things that'll help you grow your business and get you more exposure. And when Google sees that you're serious about your business and that you're creating a lot of content, what it's going to end up doing is ranking you higher for the keywords that you need to rank for, because Google wants to show people valuable information, valuable content, fresh content. Okay? That's search engine optimization. Then there's another strategy that also uses search engines, but it's not called SEO. It's also known as SEM or PPC. Okay? PPC stands for pay per click. And the way pay per click works is that you bid on keywords. For example, we're going to be exhibiting at Kosher Fest. So what we decided to do is we decided to bid on the keyword Kosher Fest. So if you go on Google and type in Kosher Fest, you'll see that Ajax Union has an ad for Kosher Fest, and it says if you're exhibiting at Kosher Fest, you can click on that ad and you can sign up a form to help us create a press release for you or whatever else we can do for you. So if you want to target a specific keyword and have a specific strategy, you could do that with pay-per-click. And pay-per-click is very, very effective, and it's very, very measurable. And chances are that you can sell your products and services on your website and promote it with pay-per-click at a fraction of the cost of what it's costing you to sell it on eBay and Amazon. Did you know that eBay and Amazon use pay-per-click to drive traffic to themselves? And when somebody clicks on that pay-per-click ad, eBay and Amazon have many different options from that person to buy. So there's many competitors. But when you drive traffic from pay-per-click, there's only one person that the person could buy from, and that's you. Yes, that person can go back to Google and look for somebody else, but if you have a great website with a great product, with a great price and a good reputation, chances are the person's going to end up buying from you. And it's much, much more likely. So pay-per-click is a great strategy, and you should really, really look into it. If you do have a website, you should look into getting a free trial. They have free trials of Google. It's called Google AdWords. You can go to AdWords.com, or you can come to me after. I'll be happy to assist you. If you have any questions about any of these strategies, I'll be happy to talk more about them. Here's another really interesting strategy that a lot of people don't tap into. It's called email marketing. Anybody here use email marketing to promote their business? Only one person? Anyone here? One person over there? And even the people that do use email marketing, they don't do it right. They don't do it consistently. They don't have really, really great offers. Everybody in this room probably has email. Right? Anyone not have an email? Raise your hand if you don't have email. Okay. Some people don't look at their email as much as they look at their Facebook or their Twitter or their LinkedIn or their Pinterest or other forms of communication or SMS. But everybody has email. And the reason why everybody has email is because that's the way that people communicate on the internet. And when you send somebody an email, essentially, you're connecting with them. So you want to connect with your customers. You want to be able to send them valuable information, and businesses are built on email marketing. If you have a great list, you can do anything with that list. You can communicate offers, you can communicate specials, you can build another business off that list. So it's very, very important for you to put together a great opt-in list, a list where people want to hear from you. It's better to have a small list with people that are tuned in than a massive list with people that just hate you and think you're a spammer. It's better to have a list with 100 people and have all of them open it and look at it and click on it than to have a list with 1 million people that 10 people look at it. Okay?
Do you have any recommendations for like emailing software? Let's say you just started to build a list, and you're just, Google is not so convenient to do it because, it's like a personal email account, and you want to build serious corporate emailing.
Right. So if you want to send out emails, you need to sign up with something called an ESP, an email service provider. And then one of the most popular email service providers is Constant Contact. We're Constant Contact partners. Or there's another one called MailChimp. And there are hundreds of ESPs, literally hundreds of them. There's iContact and Vertical Response. And there are many, many, many ESPs. There are some of them that are a little more rogue, that if you have a list that's not so clean, they'll allow you to send it to, and some of them that are very, very strict. If somebody complains, they'll cancel your account. MailChimp is very strict. But if you have a good list and people are opting in on your website, you want to use a company like MailChimp so that you can build your list. And as a matter of fact, the first 2,000 subscribers that you have, it's free to send them messages. So why wouldn't anybody in this room use a company like MailChimp to communicate with their customers? As a matter of fact, I use MailChimp for my business, and I also use it personally. When I want to email Good Yontiv to my contacts, I have a lot of business contacts that I want to say Happy New Year or Good Yontiv or whatever it is, I use MailChimp to do that. Why do I use MailChimp? Why don't I just email each person and just BCC everybody? Well, one of the reasons is because I could see who actually opened it and who actually clicked on it, which is a very, very powerful tool. You could see who's actually tuned into it. Okay? It's very, very powerful. And they don't know that you opened it because they're in your email and they could read what you're doing. They know you opened it is because they embed an image. And when you download the image from their server by opening up the email, then they know that you opened it and they report it into the reporting. So it's very, very, very powerful, and you should definitely use it personally, and you should definitely use it for your business. That's email marketing. And if you build up a good list, people will respond. People will open it. They'll be excited. Don't just sell. Selling is annoying. When you get an email and someone's just trying to sell you, you close your ears. You don't want to be sold. But people love to buy, right? People love to buy. They just hate to be sold. So what you need to do is you need to serve people. You need to sell them in a way that you're serving them. How can I help you? What can I do for you? Find out what they want and talk to them in their language, and then you'll be successful. Don't just push on them, but talk to them. Like today we sent out an email to 9,000 of our business contacts. And in the email we talked about the Hurricane Sandy. And one of the things that we did right in the beginning of the email is we wrote, if anybody needs gas, I'm sure many of you need gas over here, because I need gas, and all the gas stations have lines that are blocks and blocks long. If anybody needs gas, check out this really awesome fuel tracking website. And that website that you can click on, and it could tell you which gas stations have fuel and which ones don't. Really, really great website. And as a matter of fact, more people clicked on that link than they ever clicked on any of our campaigns, because you can imagine how many people want to know where there's a gas station that has fuel. And it actually helped them, and I got thank yous. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. And then after that, we went on talking about our webinars and the ebooks that we have available on our website and the next seminar that we're doing. So although I was kind of selling and I was trying to get them to come to my website and learn more about my products and services, but in the beginning I kind of gave them something that they want without directly forcing them to just hear me sell, because people don't like that. People don't like to be sold. People like to buy. Okay, so think about that, and it's very, very important with your emails. Go.
How often do you suggest sending these emails out?
It
There's some companies that I get like every 15 minutes.
Right, so that can get really, really annoying. You probably don't want, if you're not sending email, and most of you aren't, I think all of you aren't, maybe one person, two people, but if you're not sending email, don't suddenly start sending out emails every 15 minutes, because everyone's going to unsubscribe, you're going to get banned, and people are not going to be happy with your brand. And even though they say there's no such thing as bad publicity, even bad publicity is good publicity, if you're that annoying, no one's going to want to be part of you, and no one's ever going to want to buy anything from you. So what you want to do is you want to at least send it once a month. So once a month is kind of, the minimum that you should be sending communication with anybody. You should communicate with your wife. If you're married, you should at least communicate once a month with your wife, right? Some people say once a week, some people say once a day, right? But with your customers, you should communicate regularly. If you have a daily deal site, you might want to have a list that people can subscribe for the daily deal, right? And you'll send them every single day a deal at 9 a.m. or at 9 p.m. or at midnight or whenever your deal comes out. And then you could have a list for the people that just want the monthly email, and you can give them options. The beauty with these lists is that you're able to give people options. So email's a really great strategy. Here's another strategy that many of you may not have heard of. There's something called affiliate marketing. Anyone here heard of affiliate marketing here? 3 people? Okay, 4 people. Affiliate marketing is a very, very powerful way to get other people to sell your products and services without paying them until the product or service is sold. And the beauty is that using a affiliate marketing provider like CJ.com or like Linkshare, you're able to make offers for your website, and people can join those offers, promote your products and services, and then when your products and services get sold, you then pay them a commission and a percentage to CJ. And if you have a brand new website, or if your website doesn't get a lot of traffic and you're not popular, chances are trying this strategy out is going to be a waste of time. If you're making $50,000 a month in revenue or more, that's when you want to start thinking about affiliate marketing. But if you're making less than that, if you're only making a few $100s a week, probably is going to be a very big waste of time for you to get involved in affiliate marketing. Okay? So for those of you that are big, put that strategy on the plate. But for those of you that are a little bit smaller, think about doing it in the future and kind of learn what that is. Amazon and eBay are massive affiliates, and they also have affiliates that sell. So imagine Amazon being your affiliate, right? You pay them 15%. They're paying their affiliates 7%. So it kind of works like that. eBay also has a kind of affiliate network. It's I forgot what it's called. I think it's called the Google Affiliate Network. It used to be called DoubleClick. I believe it used to be called DoubleClick. And now it's called the Google Affiliate Network. Very, very powerful network as well. So CJ is powerful. The Google Affiliate Network is powerful. Linkshare. And there's a smaller company for those of you that might not qualify for those or don't want to spend $5,000 a month or whatever the other ones charge. There's a company called Share a Sale, which is also very, very affordable. But again, the results are going to vary, and you're probably not going to see the same results that you'll see from pay-per-click or from SEO or from email marketing. Email marketing is very, very, very powerful. And there's another strategy called social media. Anyone here on Facebook? No? Nobody? I'm kidding. There's 1 billion people that are on Facebook right now. That's a lot of people. Facebook is huge. And many people think that Facebook doesn't work and that you can't sell from Facebook. The reason why Facebook might not work is because you're trying to sell on Facebook. And like I said about email marketing, the same thing applies to social media. You can't just sell. You can't just blatantly put things and say, buy this, buy now, buy now, buy now. There was somebody that was selling paintings of the Rebbe on Facebook. And he was literally just blatantly putting it out there and saying, buy this painting of the Rebbe right now, buy it, buy it, buy it. And people were getting annoyed and they were putting up comments saying, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you just like blatantly advertising like that? What you could do is you can ask a question. Hey, what do you think about this picture? What do you think about this product? Or ask them questions that are related to your industry. You have to find creative ways to get people engaged. One of the ways that I recently got people engaged in social media is that I started a campaign to lose weight. And I started many months ago. I don't know if any of you are liking my campaign, but those of you that aren't, we have a liker in the back, shkoyach. As a result of that, as a result of me using Facebook personally, I was able to lose a significant amount of weight. I started off and I wrote, if anybody wants to help me out, I'm really trying to lose weight, and I'm willing to walk for 1 minute per like. And what ended up happening was, I first got 10 likes, then the next day I got 20, then 30, then 40, then 60, then 70. Before you know it, I was running around the park and back, and 3 months later, I lost 35.5 pounds as a result of doing that, which is huge. And I'm still huge, but I have ways to go. But I really, really challenged myself, and I used Facebook for motivation. But you can use Facebook to grow your business. I know businesses that have grown their business through Facebook and that have really, really become successful. But you can't just use it as your only strategy. You have to use many strategies. You have to use the strategies together. Okay? You have to use all the strategies together. So if you're using pay-per-click, you're using social media, you're using SEO, you're using email marketing, you want to be able to hit people from many different angles. And when they keep seeing you over and over and over in many different areas, they'll always remember you and they'll always know that you exist. And when they know somebody that needs your products or your service, or when they're ready to buy your product and your service, they'll know exactly where to go. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about social media or any of those strategies? Okay, excellent. So I'm trying to think if there was any other strategies that I could talk about today. There's blogging. Anybody here have their own blog? Excellent. You have your own blog. You have your own blog. Blogging is really, really awesome. And the reason why blogging is so awesome is because Google loves blogs. Google really loves blogs. They love to index blogs. Kranite.info gets most of its traffic from Google, and so does COL and many of these other websites that are kind of like blogs. Google wants new information. It wants fresh information. And if you just have your stale website with the same content that never changes, and you're hoping that Google's going to get you higher and higher in the search engines, well, keep hoping. The only way to get Google to make you more successful is by giving it more content, more information. And the beauty about a blog is that you can use that information in your email marketing. You could use that information in your social media. You could use that information to get you more credibility, to show that you're an authority in your industry, that you understand, and that you're communicating information. And a blog it's not just about content. It's important to have content, but you could share videos on your blog. You could share pictures on your blog. You could share audio on your blog. There's a lot of ways that you can use your blog. A blog is could just be a website, a platform to be able to disseminate information regularly. Go ahead.
Let's say there are established blogs in your industry and you don't want to break through with another blog. What is a method you could use to get one of the bloggers to pick up your content?
Excellent question. So let's say, for example, you're in the kosher food industry. Okay? You sell vitamins. You sell kosher vitamins. You sell Uncle Moishy vitamins. Okay? I know it exists already, but you're in the Jewish kosher industry. You're selling kosher Uncle Moishy vitamins for children. And what you want to do is, you know that there are many kosher food bloggers and there are many kosher blogs online, and you want to get out there and get your product listed. You want to get some exposure on those blogs. So one of the things that you could do is you could simply advertise. You could find out which bloggers offer advertising opportunities, and you can just take an ad there. Sometimes you could do that through Google AdWords. You'll notice that CrownHeights.info has their banners on the side, but you can actually target them through Google AdWords, and you can come up with the banners in the middle. And many other websites you can target specifically through Google and other networks. But another really great way to do it is to just email them and say, hey, I have this great company, and what we're actually doing is we're actually doing a promotion, and we're giving away X, Y, and Z. And if you do a review on my product, I'll be happy to give you X amount of supply of Uncle Moishy vitamins for your children. Because I notice that you're talking to parents, and it's today's day and age, kids are so unhealthy, and they're eating all this nosh and lollipops and popcorn and all types of stuff. And these vitamins are great, and I really want to help, and I want to be socially responsible, and maybe you can help me with that. Maybe you help me get the word out, and I don't mind featuring you or helping you in some way. And chances are they want to post your products up there. They want to do a review. They're looking for ways to engage. These bloggers are running out of information. And you need to help them and give them information. Whether it means creating an infographic, which is basically like a graphic with information, and you can tell them how unhealthy kids are these days, and you could write how Uncle Moishy vitamins solve the problem. Or you can create a really awesome video, like you can go asking kids what type of things they like better, if they like Winkies or pretzels or Uncle Moishy vitamins, or whatever it is. You can come up with creative ideas to have these bloggers want to publish your information and get you exposure. I'll give you another example. Let's say, for example, you want to get onto a website like CrownHeights.info or like COL or a local website. And the reason I'm bringing these websites up is because they get a lot of traffic, and you get a lot of exposure on these traffics if you're trying to target this local community. What you can simply do is, you can take an awesome video or some awesome pictures of you doing some interesting things, write something cool about it, and just email it to them. They're dying to put up funny information or cool information. Interview people on 770. If you're selling gartels, go to 770, measure different types of gartels, and just interview people talking about the gartels. And chances are you're going to get up there and you're going to get on there. Okay? Go ahead.
How do you know which advertisements are effective or not?
Excellent question. He wants to know, how do you know which advertisements are effective and which ones are not effective? So one of the things that you can do is you can install something on your website called Google Analytics. If you're not familiar with Google Analytics tells you how many visitors come to your website. They tell you what keywords they typed in to get there. They tell you where the visitors are coming from, how long they stayed there, what pages they went to, and so on. That gives you a lot of really valuable information. And with that, you're able to determine who's buying what and how they got there to buy that. So with Google AdWords, you can really specify which keyword you spent how much money on in order to know how many orders that keyword got you. So with Google Analytics and tools like that, you're able to really identify your return on investment, identify what's working, what's not working. Okay? Hope that answers your question. Any other questions about online marketing? Go ahead.
Putting up videos on your website, audios, stuff like that, how does that help the search engine optimization?
Excellent question. So he wants to know, putting videos on your website and audio and those types of information, how does that help your SEO? And the answer is, the video itself is not going to help your SEO. If you put your video on YouTube, and then on the YouTube page you put a really awesome title, like for example, people want to know how to find a gas station in Brooklyn, right? So you put a video, and you write on the title of the video, how to find a gas station in Brooklyn. And you show a video of how to do that, how to find a gas station, how to know when the truck's about to come. You know, you see the lines forming, and you do this whole investigative research of how to find it. People right now are going to be interested in watching that video, and the people that are Googling it are going to find that. And then you put a link under the video in the description box. A lot of people fail to do that. When you create a video, they forget to put the link there. And they just create a really cool video. They call it Video 1, and that's it. And they put the Video 1. So if you search YouTube for Video 1 or MOV_432, you'll probably find thousands and thousands of videos of people that just uploaded video and didn't optimize the title, and didn't write a description, and didn't add tags, and didn't add a link to their website. I can't tell you how many times I see people's Twitter profiles without a link to their website. And they're popular Twitter profiles. I can't tell you how many times I see people advertising on Facebook, and they talk about their products and services, but they don't link to their website. I can't tell you how many times I was at a trade show and somebody gave me his business card or his postcard, and it didn't have his contact information on it. Seriously? Yeah, it happens. You really have to think about that. And people are so busy just doing. They don't think about, what do I want to accomplish? What are my goals? What is the end result? Is the end result that you want more business? Is the end result that you want more exposure? Is the end result that you just want to be busy? Right? You want to think about that. And with the video, if you want to get traffic, you want to be able to optimize that video by creating content around it. And you want to be able to use that video to get more traffic to your website by sharing that video with other websites and having them then link to you as a result of you sharing that video. Same thing with audio. Okay? Anybody else? Any questions? Let me see if it looks like we're probably running out of time. Probably another 3 minutes left. So I'll take another question and then we'll wrap up.
Can you just tell us like a quick summary of what you would do a company once you build them up, step by step, an example of what you would do to build them up to a big, SEO company?
Excellent. So your question was, can I give you an example of what I would do? I would take a company that wants a website, build them a website, add their products to it, and then what would be the next step from there? How would you build that website into making it a really, really successful company? Levi, you ready to take pictures?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what I would recommend, so the first thing I would do is I would actually find a great domain name. That's where you start. When you want to build a website, you want to pick a really great name. How do you find a really great domain name? Well, you can actually do it two ways. You could either identify what product you're selling and then create a domain name around that product, like the best microphones online, right? So you could buy the best microphones online and you only sell microphones. Or you can come up with a really great name that's general, like a general name that doesn't necessarily define you, but it's an interesting name, like redfox.com or something, or supergreat.com or something really awesome. It's not coming to me right now. But you come up with a really, really great name based on who you are and what your aspirations are, or some other thing that comes up. You just look across the hall and you say roundwheel.com, or you come up with a really cool name that people would find interesting, that has meaning to you, and then you can build off that. And it really doesn't matter. You could still rank for many keywords, even if you have a business that's just called something like New Egg, you could rank on the first page of Google for electronics, right? Or you can have Amazon, and you could rank for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of keywords. And it doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? Or you can have a website that's the best sunglasses online, and you could rank for the keyword, the best sunglasses online, but that's about it. And you can build that website up to be anything, but chances are Google's not going to want to, if you decide that you want to start selling jewelry, and you want to start selling makeup on there, chances are Google's not going to want to rank you for that because they see that you're a sunglasses website. So even though you have jewelry, it's not going to look so good when people see the best sunglasses online, so it could actually negatively impact you.
I have a question.
Sure.
What would you say, let's say, I'm sure it's different in every industry, but when would you switch it from I sell sunglasses online to Levi's sunglasses store?
Right. So Levi's Depot. Or Levi Power.
When would you say there's a switch?
Right.
Is there no difference?
It really, really doesn't make a difference. I would tell you to think about the future. Think about what you want to do. Do you want to just open up an eyeglasses store just to move eyeglasses right now? Let's say, for example, you own a eyeglass shop and you're selling wholesale eyeglasses. And that's all you want to do. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to do contact lenses. I don't want to sell chairs. I don't want to sell furniture. I don't want to open up a corporation. I literally just want to rank for wholesale eyeglasses. So you buy wholesaleeyeglasses.com and that's it, finito. Or if you want to open up a sub-marketing site for yourself, you want to open up like a little niche product in a very niche area, you can call it that name and you'll be fine. But if you want to open up a business that's going to be very successful and you're not sure exactly what you want to sell yet, but you have access to a certain product or a certain service and you want to really take it to the next level and eventually sell it as whatever you decide it's going to be, then you want to really consider having like a little general name, but something that has a lot of meaning. Okay? And then you could do whatever you want with it and really, really build it. But if you know you're going to be a bank, you could just call it Apple Bank. Right? Or if you want to be something that you can change it around, you can change it around.
Does it make a big difference on the name?
The name does make a difference, yes, absolutely. If let's say for example, you sell bicycles, right? And then eventually you want to, right? You sell bicycles. So you just open up thecrownheightsbicycleshop.com, okay? So you say crownheightsbicycleshop.com. Let's say later you want to sell rollerblades. You could sell it, but it's not necessarily going to work so well. Or if you want to sell sporting goods there later, right? You change it from a bicycle shop and you sell fishing stuff, because a lot of people in Crown Heights like to go fishing, right? Or you sell other type of sporting goods like golf clubs and everything else that they sell there. It's not going to work so well on the Crown Heights Bicycle Shop, especially if you want to expand to Borough Park and then eventually to Williamsburg and to Flatbush, right? So maybe you want to call it the New York Sporting Goods Store. So you have to really think about the future, and it really, really does make a difference. But if you only want to sell bicycles in Crown Heights and that's all you want to do for as long as you can imagine, and that's all you care about because you have a passion for it, you don't necessarily want to build a massive models or whatever it is, right? So then you open that up. You do the Crown Heights Young Entrepreneurs. I don't want to open up entrepreneurs in Africa or in Asia or in Malaysia or wherever it is, right? You want to do so you have very specific with what you want to do. So you're really thinking about your name is very important. So once you select your name, let's keep moving because I don't have that much more time, right, Levi?
10 minutes.
I have 10 more minutes. So let's keep moving and let me answer your question and take you down the journey of what I would do if I was to build a business from scratch. So the first thing I would do is pick an awesome name. After I pick an awesome name, I would create an awesome website. And depending on your budget, depending on where you want to go, depending on how fast you want to grow, that's where I would pick the right type of software for your website. So if you have a very, very limited budget and you're not sure if you're going to be able to be a massive business and you haven't tested it out, I would build a website like on something called a hosted platform, like on a Volusion or on something like that, like in a Yahoo store or something, okay? Which I pay a monthly fee, and I don't have to make a massive investment in designing. I don't have to make a massive investment in getting my own server, and so on. I could just literally pay $49 a month or $100 a month. I'm using somebody else's platform. I put a template on there. I get my products up there, and I'm up and running with a very minimal investment. So it really depends on where you want to go. If you want to integrate with a massive inventory system and you want to be able to add all these really cool modules and all these cool features, you're not going to be able to do it with these hosted applications. You really need to think about the future there as well. So if you're just starting a small business, I would tell you go with a hosted website. If you want something that's very integratable, you might want to go with something that's out of the box and you can install on your own server. And if you really, really want to really blow it out of the water and you have a crazy idea, you want to do a fully custom website in that case, all right? So it really depends on what you want to do. Next, after you build your website, you get all your products in there, you optimize it, I would tell you to add content to your website, add information to your website, add information to your products, describe your products adequately with all the right keywords, create really, really compelling call to action, and have information, great information. The next thing I would tell you to do is start advertising. Start driving traffic to your website. Using methods like Google AdWords, you can quickly start getting traffic to your website. Using methods like email marketing, many times you can just literally take your emails, put them into your list and start letting people know. I would tell you to get your social media together, create a Facebook page, a Twitter page, a Pinterest page, a LinkedIn page. Depending on what your industry is and what your targeting is, I would tell you to target it a different way or message it a different way. Definitely tell you to create a blog on your website, so then start updating that blog regularly. And then, as that comes along, you want to really look at your pay-per-click a lot. That's where you're going to be getting a lot of your traffic. That's what's going to be scalable. If you want to build your business, and you want your business to grow significantly, especially if you're selling products online, the place that you're going to see it grow significantly in a way that's systematic and that you can keep growing it over and over and over is going to be using Google AdWords. It's very, very measurable. You're able to determine exactly which keywords are the ones driving revenue, which keywords are profitable, and that's where you should put a lot of your energy in, because that's what's really going to grow your business. That's what's really going to be scalable. With SEO, it's not necessarily as scalable, but with Google AdWords, it's very, very scalable. So with that, I want to thank all of you for coming here. I hope you were able to take something insightful. And if you need to contact me, you can reach me at ajaxunion.com. That's www.ajaxunion.com. And I'll be very happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.